Well, hello, and welcome to Western Washington University's Entrepreneurship and Innovation Program's Lunch Bite series. Each Thursday from 12 to 12:30 during the summer, we're going to be offering some relevant, interesting, and engaging content for entrepreneurs and innovators. And over the course of the summer, you'll see things from local entrepreneurs to professional development, offerings in marketing and leadership, and the Energy Institute will also be featuring some work. So we are so excited to share with you this summer different opportunities to grow and enrich. So if you're like many of us, you might feel like the world is a little bit vacuous, empty, and just so incredibly different than what we saw just 5 months ago. So this is much like if we were able to access many of our classrooms, we would pop on in and see this empty classroom. Or maybe you're in the business world and you see an empty conference room, empty offices. What we're all looking for is to find ways to engage and connect. So this is our student fellowship team from this year, and how might we create the opportunity to really meaningfully connect and engage over Zoom, much like we would do in person. So if you're like me, maybe many of the Zoom meetings we're in, people have their faces muted, people look confused, they're clearly doing other things. Multitasking is certainly rampantly on the rise during Zoom calls, and a lot of research reports say that we're much less actively engaged in them than we are face-to-face meetings. So let's put in the chat thread and just start it with a little bit of humor, levity, and understanding. What's the worst Zoom experience you've had so far? Okay, seeing a lot of issues around technical support, everybody having their video off, failure to connect, just some interesting notes on things that have been hurdles and feedback. So we're gonna address many of those together today. So the Entrepreneurship and Innovation program at Western, we are focused on growing entrepreneurial founders, leaders, and coaches at every point in your professional career. So be it as a high school student or as a retiree, how might we bring joy and light in life to your journey as an entrepreneur and innovator? And we're scaling many of our programs into the community, including our entrepreneurial leadership and innovation courses that we're offering this next year, with a 3-part series spanning each quarter, as well as a number of different 1-credit or 10-hour community education offerings. So we'll have some access to those and some information about that that we'll be sending your way. So today we are talking about creating and leading engaging meetings online. So my name is Meg Weber. I'm the Director of Executive Education for Entrepreneurship and Innovation. And I'm joined this afternoon with Seraphima Healy, who's one of our amazing students and a fellow who helps to lead and develop the way that we implement our teaching in the classroom. So today we're going to talk about creating and leading engaging meetings online. We're going to focus in on building some play and connection, quick tips to design agendas and drive clarity, and some tricks for igniting engagement and discussion. So let's start out with your favorite summer food. So fun little Zoom tip. It's always super great to have people rename themselves in their Zoom chat. And you can put their geolocation in there or some fun fact or some way that they're feeling. So oftentimes we'll have Zoom meetings that'll have like 50, 100 people and people renaming themselves. You can quickly scan through and make some jests and some connections. So if you go into the bar, the Zoom bar in Zoom and click on your settings, you can update your name to have your name, and then let's enter in your favorite summertime food as part of your name. Awesome. So I'm seeing some watermelon, much like me, some ice cream popping up, and burgers and other things. So that is fantastic. I love the idea of the summertime barbecue out. So now that's fun. We get to know a little bit about each other. And if you're meeting with people on a recurring basis, particularly in a large group, this can be a fun way to ignite some participation and meaning. And if nothing else, it helps you to guarantee that people are in front of the device that they're on the Zoom call with. So another thing we're going to do is just go into that chat function. So get a little bit of orientation. Again, that's in your main menu bar. Click on chat. It looks like a little, speaker box. And this is one of the many things I get excited about. We have a super fun little dog. And so in that, what are you excited about right now? Let's click on that chat button and everyone hold your responses. So type in your answer to what you're excited about right now. And we'll all hold for a little bit of time to let everybody have a chance to enter in their response. And then now everybody all at once press enter. Okay, seeing so many fantastic responses coming in. So you're excited about the weekend to come. You're excited about learning about Zoom. You're excited about fun people that you're getting to spend your life with. So it looks like a ton of different engaging information. I'm so glad that you shared that. Thank you so much. So again, if we hold off on that enter, then we see a flood of exciting information coming along, and then everyone has sort of equal voice. So this is one way to equalize participation, because even in the chat thread, we can see that sometimes a few voices monopolize Zoom conversations. So super great. Also guidance tip that I've noticed from some others that has been really helpful for me is, so often in meetings and in teaching, we're trying to, say, no, don't have that side conversation. No, let's have all of the interest and engagement up front. And one of the things that we've learned in our work in facilitative leadership, which is a class that we teach, as well as offering that into the community. One of the great things we've noticed is that there are so many words that then stay silent and so many conversations then that don't happen that are actually super invaluable. So we seek to build into our work, and you'll see this a couple times throughout this workshop, what we say is individual reflection. So that time that you were able to wait and pause until you pressed enter, and then the group share or sharing with a partner. So to incubate different ways for you to have that engagement and processing time is super helpful. So allowing that space for what are you super excited about, and really encouraging people to use the chat function. So when we started teaching online suddenly this last spring, I was like, oh, I don't know, what's going to happen if we really encourage people to use chat? Are they going to be distracted from the main content? Are they going to be paying attention to each other? What's going to be happening? And we have seen so many beautiful conversations and discoveries come across through encouraging students to use chat during class. And it's really allowing them to really acknowledge and recognize each other in a very beautiful way. So I just encourage you in your professional meetings and in your classroom to actually encourage people to participate in chat and to create as many opportunities as possible for people to connect one-on-one and in breakout conversations. So I'm going to turn it over to you, Serafima, for a talk about what's your superpower.
Awesome. Welcome back, everyone. Why don't we go ahead and do another chat harvest? So just type in anything you heard, anything that stood out to you in your conversation with your partner. It could be about the superpower, it could be about the concern. Oh, yay, I'm glad you fixed your upside down computer. Yay. Did anyone hear anything that stood out to them? Anything at all? Oh, totally. Okay, yeah. Concern about working socially, professional, not working from home. Totally. Students in virtual learning, definitely harder to do both of those things over Zoom. Awesome.
Cool. Yeah. So we're finding, and again, I do human resources consulting with companies too, so I get to hear a lot of things about what they're struggling with. Oh yes, perfect. And this notion of being sure to include and incorporate play even more so than ever is really important, because we don't get like the water cooler times or even the awkward, like there's just so many things that happen in hallways and at meeting room tables and at the coffee machine that aren't happening nowadays. And so making sure that you include even a few minutes of play is super helpful. So we have a lot of samples that are helpful that we're happy to share and we'll send out after this. So I'm going to scooch over to creating clarity and agendas. So I don't know about you, but usually, I mean, other than that, this is another language, this is usually the way that I get to work with people. And whether it's over like a lunch table, connecting and leaning in, or whether it's in creating models and prototypes with bright pens and paper, I have had the like distinct privilege of my interactions, like being able to be really vibrant and personal. And I'm finding now with Zoom, or I found now with Zoom, that there's like zero flexibility often. And like the anxiety over something going wrong and the different ways that the screens pull up and all those things, like the way that I usually get to connect with people, I don't anymore. And so this zero flexibility in Zoom thing, for my perspective at least, really is helping to frame a better focus on empathy development in terms of like, for the people that we're coordinating a meeting with, in our wildest dreams as the organizers, what do we want them to experience? What do we want their outcomes to be? And what do we want their feeling and emotion to be? And all of those being very important, because in a flat meeting, it can often feel like, so what the heck are we doing right now? This feels like brain scrabble. So like getting everything incredibly clear in your planning. So we do that through focusing in on the people that are going to be part of the meeting. What's the purpose of the meeting? How should everybody be prepared for the meeting, not just us as hosts? What's the process that we're going to follow? And what resources do we need? And then one of the big ones that we talk about too is how are we going to measure how that went and what we're going to do going forward? So this is called 4PR, which is a method that we talk about a lot within our facilitative leadership work. So here's a sample, super simple storyboard that again, we'll be sharing out afterwards. But for every section of a meeting, we'll have this broken down in like 5, 10, 15-minute increments. And it just helps us align and pass the ball between the different people that are in the meeting. All right, so I'm going to launch a poll, which can be another fun thing for us to do with people, especially in large groups, to get reactions. So I launched a poll that you should see in front of you now. And if you could just quickly select that answer that feels most relevant to you. Awesome. So see pretty, broad distribution of thoughts there. Lack of engagement, lack of interpersonal communication, and feeling drained. Like the Zoom tired is a super strong tired for a lot of us. So thank you. So polls, again, if you're like in a large meeting, or you really need to check if people are feeling like if things are moving forward, can be a really great way to go. Okay, sorry. So making space for collaboration and play. Creating space to be both quiet and loud. Creating a real importance of creating an opportunity for people to feel heard, seen, and respected. So we're going to share a couple more what we call bread and butter tools, essentially like the most basic functions that you can use to help build and facilitate connections. Yes, you can pre-create polls and then the host can launch them. So that's what we tend to do, is pre-create the polls. Great question. So we're gonna do a little breakout here and ask you to take a moment, collect your thoughts, and grab something near you at your desk that's bringing you a lot of joy right now. It might be ice cream, Serafima.
I wish I had ice cream right now.
So if you can, we'll give about another like 10 seconds to this. If you have it near you, I cheated a little bit. If you have it near you, if you can pick it up and show it to everyone, that would be amazing. Oh, look at that. Good. Oh, happy birthday, Dad. Oh my gosh. Keith, must be some delicious water. Oh yeah. Is that a good tea there, Britt? Cool. Oh my gosh, the dog, Christine. Wow, so cool. And I love that artwork there. Oh my gosh, Marlene. Yes, yes, do it. Awesome. Cool. Well, thank you so much. We're gonna go into one last exercise, which is the other bread and buck. So that was called impromptu networking, which is like grab something right near you, connect with somebody close to you about it and share it out. And our next one is to take like 30 seconds individually, and then we'll go into a quick breakout room, and then we'll share out with everyone. And so that question is going to be, what are you going to take away from this session? So 1 or 2 key takeaways that you're going to take away from this session. Well, thank you so much for joining us on our webinar on creating and leading engaging meetings online. This was just a quick taste of the way that we go into some of this work together. Again, I'm Meg Weber, and I was joined today by our awesome fellow Serafima Healy. So we worked on building play and connection, quick tips to design agendas and drive clarity, tricks for igniting engagement and discussion. So we're going to be posting more resources on our website, and that's entrepreneurship.wwu.edu. And stay tuned to check out some resources there. And again, tune in every week for our lunch bites. We'll be recording them. So if you can't make it from 12 to 12:30, join us for half an hour afterwards when they're posted online. So we are so grateful for this opportunity to share with you, and so excited about our expanded work in entrepreneurship and innovation education in our community. So thanks so much. Have a wonderful day.